Hello, good morning, and welcome to forexforsteadyprofit.com. I use the Commitment of Traders report, which comes out every week on a Friday, and I need to give me an idea of market direction. I analyze the ratios of longs to shorts for the commercials and non-commercials, and I also look at the divergence on the pairs, and it gives me an idea of market direction. We'll just go and have a quick look at the charts. So here we have the Commitment of Traders information in its raw form. You get the non-commercial positions and the commercial positions, long and short, and then you get the change in open interest. And you also get that broken down underneath for longs and shorts for both the commercials and the non-commercials. And we can see this broken down into a graph over a period of time, which also gives us comparatives, which are also very useful to look back on the history. And so we'll go and do that right now. And here we have a graph of the positions over 52 weeks, that's a year, for the commitment of traders of the commercials and non-commercials. And this is for the Australian dollar. This chart is produced by cotbase.com. And you can see here where we got to a low position with the commercials, and we're completely opposite to the speculators, and they've got a long position, so we're short. You can see we had a big drop off in the price of the Australian dollar. Conversely, when we were at a high and very bullish for the commercials, and we were fairly bearish for the non-commercials, that we actually had a hike in the rise of the price of the Australian dollar. This is a very useful tool to be using, and we can show you other ways that we use it and other things that we do with it. So here we have the Australian dollar, US dollar, and we've got the RSI. Now if we put a trend line on the RSI and we wait for it to go above the 69.1 and come back down and cut through it, this gives us a sell signal. Now, this obviously would have been a very good sell signal here. We had a sell signal here indicating this big long fall that we've had. And quite recently, we've had a rise in the price of the Australian dollar, which is just going through the 50 here. And I'm expecting it to turn back down and cut through the trend line, which will give us another sell signal because we have an extreme position of short the commercials and long the non-commercials on the Commitment of Traders report, and this should be quite a long sustained downward trend, which is always very profitable. Last bit of information, this is Ludwig's divergence calculator, and it works really well, and this helps us with the crosses. These are the currencies against the US dollar, and here we have the crosses calculated, and it gives us a divergence value between the commercials and the non-commercials, and it shows some of the pairs that are of more interest than others. A very useful tool, only available on the Members Centre, and the pairs that are of most interest we do feature on the video on the Members Centre every day, so you get a daily video on those. This is Monday the 23rd of October, and it's just after 10 o'clock, and we're going to start with the Australian dollar, US dollar. The commercials have a short ratio of 7.24 to 1. This is very close to an extreme. We've come off the highs, and we've seen the Australian dollar fall back down. We had a little bit of a rally back up, and Friday and today we've seen a couple of little candles down. We actually have the CPI on Wednesday, which is the big news for the Australian dollar this week. That's a consumer price index quarter on quarter. So we'll see how that goes, and we're expecting this to fall back down. The pound US dollar, Expecting to see a bit of weakness in this pair. We had a little bit of a pullback the other day, expecting strength in the dollar and expecting the pound to fall down. First target would be the 129 mark. We've got a commercial short ratio, that's short the pound, of 1.12. We're below the 50 on the RSI. We're slightly pointing down, but last 3 days have been a little bit sideways movement. USD CAD, we've got a commercial ratio of 3.68 to 1 short. That's short the Canadian dollar, long the US dollar. There is quite good there is very good potential in this pair. We've fallen a long way from the early highs in about May this year. So we're expecting to see quite a bit of upside here. The RSI is well above the 50, getting on for the 69.1. We had a nice green candle on Friday, and we're expecting more strength in the pair later this week. Euro US dollar. We had a candle down that was strength in the US dollar on Friday, and a little bit of weakness in the euro. The euro's got the problem again with the Catalan, and there's also a problem in Italy. Areas that want to go separate from the main country. Right, we have a commercial short ratio of 1.67 to 1, which if you watch my video from Sunday, now this is an extreme position for about the last 2 or 3 years, maybe even a bit longer. So we're below the 50 on the RSI. We've had a little bit of a red candle this morning. We've come down onto a little bit of support. Hopefully we'll break through that today, and we'll see how far we can go down. USD, Japanese yen. Bit of weakness on the yen, which really I didn't expect. Abe looks like he's got quite a bit of a landslide victory, so he can get his policies through. We've got a commercial short ratio of a long ratio of 3.37 to 1. That is short the pair, long the Japanese yen. We've sort of gapped up this morning. I expect some news to come out later, a bit more confidence. Him having a large majority, I think, should be good for the yen. I've put my trend line on the RSI, and I'm waiting for the RSI to break through my trend line. Yeah, I'm expecting that to come down this week anyway. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. As I said on my report on Sunday, we've had a good fall on this. It's a couple of hundred pips, something like that. We have a commercial short ratio of 1.93 to 1. We've had a little bit of a pullback today. Well, actually, we've sort of gapped down and now we've pulled back. I was expecting a little bit of a respite, but it's not much if that's all we're getting. And I think we might just continue on down. The RSI is at 29.7, which is below the 30.9, and we'll see how this candle finishes today. You know, I think that should continue down. I do. Silver, again, a little bit of strength in the dollar. We've come back down onto a little touch of support. You can see it over here. This is a daily chart. We're below the 50 on the RSI. It looks bearish to me. You can see the cut report that I did on Sunday. I covered silver, and it does look to me like the commercials are bearish for silver. So you know, I am expecting this to come back down. It's a good positive swap on the um, when you trade it short, you make money on the swaps. So it is a good trade to hold. So I think that long term is short. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully see you tomorrow.